So, should you buy a DJI Spark in December 2018? Should you buy a drone in the first place? Why do you need a drone? Well, I thought about buying a drone, and the reason is because that's the only way to get those shots. If you wanted anything that's cinematic, if you wanted anything that is like impressive looking, you need a drone. So, should you get the DJI Spark, or is there another alternative? I think how good the footage is more than just the drone. It's also the controller of the drone. In this case, is you. So, should you get a DJI Spark in 2018? Because the DJI Spark has been out for about a year. So this is a survey video about all the videos that we have seen. You can see Casey did one in a year. Jarvin Jovi, I watched this one. So I've watched most of these videos, and this is what the survey video is telling me. Basically, if you look at the specs, whenever you buy a merchandise, you should always compare it to its competitors. In this case, you should be considering the DJI Mavic Air. The Mavic Air is a different class of product that is much more advanced than the Spark, and it's also newer. But it's also double the price. And if you're a beginner or if you don't need those features, then is double the price justify its technologies? Probably not. So in this case, you can see that Spark has a 2-axis mechanical gimbal. Mavic Air has 3. And I believe the lens is the same. And I believe the DJI Mavic Air has more color profiles, so you can shoot more cinematic things. And it's able to shoot 4K, whereas DJI Spark can only shoot 1080. But I think 1080 is enough. I don't see why you need 4K unless you wanted to display on a giant TV. But for my purposes, for YouTube, it's okay. I mean, even 1080p on a big TV is good enough. It more comes down to the user rather than the drone. So the DJI Spark only have front sensing sensors, whereas the Mavic Air has rear sensing sensors. So if it's moving backward, it wouldn't fly into a tree. But forward, it's about the same. The other thing that I noticed in one of these videos is I believe there was one reviewer, I can't find his video, he actually lost his DJI Spark because he was trying to fly in the city and he didn't have a remote. So when the DJI lost GPS signal, it didn't know where home is, so it never flew back home, so it just disappeared. That kind of sucks. So you probably need to get the controller when you buy a DJI Spark. I probably buy on Craigslist. I don't see why you need to buy this thing brand new and it's been around for a year. You also need to buy batteries because this thing only lasts 12 minutes. I believe that Mavic Air lasts 18 minutes. And batteries are also expensive. They're like $60 each. The quality is good enough. And the Spark is not the smallest drone because the arms do not fold in, whereas the Mavic Air, the arms fold in, so the Mavic Air will be a smaller drone than the Spark. And that's it. So comparing the Mavic Air to the Spark, I think you should buy a Spark, and once you've mastered it, if you're a professional maybe and you know how to use it, then maybe you should consider a Mavic Air, but then you wouldn't be watching this video because this video is not for pros, it's for newbies like me. So I think DJI Spark, a used DJI Spark, is the way to go. And in terms of the software and all the modes, um, like the auto modes, they're all pretty good. Um, there's a lot of skills that you can gain by manually controlling the spark. One of the reviewers mentioned that um, the return to home settings, you should set those settings before flying the DJI Spark, because let's say if you're on a boat, it won't return to where your boat is. It would just return to where the Spark originally left off. So, so these are the tidbits that I got from watching all of these videos. Other than that, I think it's a great product. It's just the flight time is so limited. You don't want to fly backwards. Um, you want to do control, set the settings first before flying, and you need the remote when you are using this. Other than that, all the reviewers has mentioned that how durable this drone is. So yeah, so durability wouldn't be a problem. Other than that, it doesn't seem like DJI is going to release a Spark 2 anytime soon. So maybe it's going to be another year before they release Spark 2. So would I buy a DJI Spark? Yeah, I would buy it. But I wouldn't buy it new. I would find it on Craigslist. I would buy it used, because even when the new one comes out, it's going to be expensive when it's new, and it'll just make the original Spark cheaper. So yeah, I go for the DJI Spark. That's it.